Welcome to Damage Does D&D. Tonight brought to you by puppies and beards. Many beards.
And mead.
And mead, indeed. So,
Where is Dwarven City?
as we traditionally do in Helloran Rising, the last we left off, Yorick's going to tell us all about what happened last time.
Yeah. But Briox would want me to choose which of the meads I'm going to start. I've got a bit of obsession with mead.
Fair enough.
It's a good obsession to have.
Okay, right. Dear Briox. Oh, I do need to change my name. Darn it. I am not the DM tonight.
No, you're
I
not.
am Yorick Skillbean.
What do you mean?
You need to demote yourself.
Dear Briox. So, we're back in Daghold after all this time. Really weird. Like, it's the same, but different, you know? It's so quiet here without the Litlands running around. And without the Olden shouting at the Litlands for running around. We need to get this war stopped so things can go back to normal. We had a long conversation with Auntie Sybil, catching her up with everything that's happened. She weren't half shocked seeing Bridris for the first time, but she was surprisingly welcoming to Gussie's baby dragon. She didn't even try to clobber her, not even a little, especially when Bridris turned up snacking on a tiefling. We came up with a plan to fetch the other two council members, Thrinan of the Mining Guild and Baidlin of the Gemcutters Guild. A quick stop at the pub first, though, of course. Got to show my friends real dwarven life. We ran into a few people on the way who were a little worried about my friends. But we tell them everything's fine and we're off to get the council members together for a meeting. But we offered to buy the first round and they're all good with that. Ferenz catches up with us along the way. I think he stayed back to talk to the dragon. I need to catch up with him later to see how that went. He's an odd one, though. I'm still coming round to see the dragons as more than just the enemy of my people. But he seems to have a reverence for them, which I find a bit uncomfortable. Also, why does he speak with a dwarven accent? Need to keep my eye on him. We get to the broken pick and throw some money behind the bar to keep everyone in the place going for a while. I have maybe the best hour I've had since Gus and I left Daggold. Just being in my local, drinking the best beer in the world, hanging out with good people, watching them get knocked off their feet by how beautiful and strong real dwarven ale is. I could have stayed there all day, and I know you would have understood if we did, but there are important things we need to get on with. So we head off to see Thrinan Lowdelve of the Miners Guild. He knew that Auntie Sybil was previously unavailable, which seems a bit dodgy. But we tell him to get to the Scalemaid house in half an hour, and we move on to get Baidlin. He is such a greasy-bearded Gevelan. Breath of cobalt and words of pyrite. I think everyone saw right through him, though, straight away. Celeste was caught trying to steal a sample of the organic gems, so I had to tell her off to save face. But I cleared it up with her later. Baidlin knew why we were there. No idea how he knew. He agreed to head to the meeting shortly, though, so we're all set. We get moving back to the house. Not long after we get back, Threnan and Baidlin arrive, and Sybil begins the meeting and levels the accusations at the three members of the council. Farron doesn't deny anything. I think we broke him a little bit. Baidlin argues to pass blame, to justify his actions and generally just insult and distract. Melissa seems to think he's working with a certain devilish person. There's also something wrong with Threnan, and I asked Celeste to give him a once-over, medically speaking, and she thinks he's been drugged to be more compliant. You can see him return to himself as Celeste casts a healing spell. He turns and thumps Varren right in the face. trying to work out where to go from here, we consider allowing Bridris another snack. But Auntie Sybil thinks that might not be a great idea. I suggest we take the 3 council members out into the town, call all available dwarves to attend, and I ask you publicly to judge them. That would serve the purpose of getting rid of the 2 guilty members and showing the good people of Daggold that you're still with us, giving me some sway with the people to make some changes. Please be with me, Riox. Almighty God of the Forge, I need you now more than ever.
Yes.
Unseen.
The one thing I want to add is
Lovely.
I'm surprised Yorick could recognise a healing spell.
Bit harsh.
Check my tag. Fixing things, occasionally people.
There you go.
He has healed me once.
I'm pretty sure he's healed more than one person. Probably.
After 71 episodes, it's surely more than one.
Yeah,
It's so rare, I do remember it.
it's at least 2, I think. Anyway, so with your plan in mind, you are in Scalebane House with the 3 members, now 4 members of the council. As Scalebane should always sit on the council, even if it's just in an acting capacity. What would you like to do?
So yeah, I'm gonna start trying to round people up and get us out of the town.
Easy enough. You can do. There is a central meeting place. You can big sort of town square, as it were, or city square, in front of the temple to Riox, which is a big place, a big forge, more like a forge than a temple, to be honest. And there is a meeting bell, an emergency bell you can ring, which will bring dwarves, no matter what they're doing, to the temple. So, you all make your way there.
Before we make our way out, I'm going to ask Bridris to go home for a little while.
All right, ma'am. Yep, no worries.
See you in a little bit, lovely.
She vanishes once more. So, anybody else want to do anything before you, or as you're making your way to the centre of the city? Nope. Okay. So,
I'm going to be calling out to people along the way before I even get to
yeah, fair enough. Just make a quick persuasion check. It's not a difficult DC. It's just to see if you can persuade people to come along with you rather than waiting for you to ring the bell.
Can I assist him by using the cantrip thaumaturgy to make my voice very, very loud?
Absolutely. What, make your voice or make Yorick's voice?
Oh, I think it can only make my voice loud. But he'll be saying stuff and I'll be repeating it 3 times as loud.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. So you can have advantage there, Yorick.
Ooh. Advantage with -2. Excellent. 4.
4. Yeah, I mean, Gus is shouting what you're saying, but not quite right. So the message is getting a bit muddied and a bit loud. So it's not going well along the route. I don't
think it's going very well, Gus. Let's just get to the bell, and then you can keep ringing the bell. Just keep ringing it. Keep ringing it. Don't let the bell end.
I won't let your bell end.
Love my dwarves. So you make your way to the city square where the forge temple of Riox is. And indeed, there is a large alarm bell. You go up a platform and start ringing the bell. And this is a loud clang. It's not like a church bell. It's not sort of sonorous and nice. It's harsh and grating on the ears. It's unpleasant to listen to. The idea being that everybody rushes to the bell to stop it. Given dwarf mentality, don't like that noise, let's go stop it. So everybody rushes. So once the crowds are there, Gus ends the bell end, as it were, and Yorick, the floor is yours.
I should have written this bit down as well. So yeah, as people are gathered, I will say, right, thank you all for coming here. I am Yorick Scalebane. You may know me. I've probably bought you a pint at some point.
Not
So
really
hear me
well.
out. I'll get you one later.
Right on.
So I have with me 3 members of the council, and I am putting them on charge of neglect of this great city. There have been very funny shenanigans going on, and we'd like to tell you a bit about it. There has been a operation running beneath this city where we have been raising dragons for the sake of harvesting their gems. Now, I don't know about you, but I feel like keeping our city safe and fighting the dragons out into the mountains is a mighty fine thing to do. But to keep them like slaves so that we can harvest them is a pretty egregious thing to do. That's a good word, isn't it?
Word.
And I have been in contact quite regularly over the last few months with Riox himself.
Yeah, there's a couple of. It's a joke, isn't it?
I have been talking to him because I have been outside of this city. I have been out of the mountains. That's where I met my friends. There's a lot more going on outside the mountains than you're being told by these 3. There's a whole world of life out there, and we're not involved because this lot are keeping us trapped inside our mountain. So I am here to ask you to witness as I call upon Riox to judge them. And whatever his judgment is, goes.
There's a lot of murmuring going on, and some people look absolutely convinced by this. A lot of people do not. You notice studied throughout the crowd are various priests of Riox looking a little shifty. Some of them are just interested in what you're saying, but there's quite a few of them that are just like, no, we've got to shut this bloke up. So I would like you to make a performance check.
Oh, you're calling on all my good stats here.
I'm trying to get something that you are half.
I know. I'm just getting too many things.
Let's have a look. I'm trying to make it a fair
Intimidation
check.
using strength?
I'm trying to make it a fair check, so I can't just make persuasion because you're so bad at that.
That's why I thought maybe intimidation using strength rather than charisma. Because they do that sometimes.
Well, it's not really intimidating them, so...
What about a religion check?
Yeah, let's go with the religion check, because you're invoking the spirit of Yorks. You're talking to a fairly religious society. So, let's go with a religion check, please.
Am I too late to do guidance for it?
No, absolutely not. You can do some guidance.
Then guidance.
Bang, let's roll the d4 first. It was a 1. Good start.
Awesome.
So, I'm 1 point higher than I originally was. Come on, religion. Oh, fuck off, it's a 3. Oh. Total 9.
9.
Okay.
Total 10. Sorry, total 10. Because I had to roll absolute shit on both dice.
Okay. There's a lot of murmuring going on. People not seeing why this young upstart should come and tell them what to do and be accusing the council of things. Luckily, however, you are stood with Sybil Scalebane, who steps forward. Now, you listen here. Young Yorick here is speaking the truth. They've been outside, him and my little Gus. Yorick's my favourite in a minute because he gave me some large amounts of alcohol, which is always good. Anyway, probably shouldn't have said that. But what I'm saying is, you really ought to listen to him because I have seen him invoke Reorcs this very day. And I think you'll be pleasantly surprised by what you see. So, Yorick, as acting head of the Scalebane clan and acting on the council representing Scalebanes, I would like you to invoke Reorcs, please, here in front of all these witnesses, in front of the Forge of Reorcs itself. Please invoke him and we will see what he has to say. You know, it's a lot more
No
people
pressure
paying
on your
attention.
fine skill rolls.
Can I help?
Absolutely, how are you going to help?
Oh, I'm just going to go. Come on. Time for you to show up.
Okay, I would like... you could do either a religion roll or... Actually, no, let's make it be a religion.
Can I help as well?
Yeah, I was going to give you disadvantage because, you know, Sprocket's helping.
Religion
I'll give
I
you
have
double
a plus-
disadvantage because Gus is helping. Sorry, no, Gus. How
What
are
I
you
want to
helping?
do is go, Reworks, I know you don't talk to me very often because I'm the brains of the organisation and you need to give the other one a bit more help. But this is really, really important. And I mean, the future of the dwarves and the war. Please, please speak to Yorick and do the thing with whatever he's going to do. I don't know, smite them down with your heavenly hammer or something. Thank you.
Okay, brilliant speech, Gus, thank you. And Sprocket, you're just going, yeah, do the thing.
Yep. I have a +0. I rolled a 6.
Awesome. I will take that into account. You can have
Would you like me
advantage
to
from...
roll something?
well, I was just about to say, you can have advantage if you want, Yorick, or you can let Gus roll and you roll, and we'll take the average of the three.
I think we want to take the average of a 3. We're starting with a 6 over here.
Yeah, well, I gave you the choice.
My religion is only +1.
I mean, the advantage seems a better choice to me, but
It does.
Yes, it
Okay.
does.
It's
also,
right
just before you roll this, I will also remind you that some of you have inspiration.
Now is the time to use it.
Just, you know, in case things go badly.
Yeah. I was actually
Quite
wondering.
nervous. Things so badly.
Can I
Just to
use
go-
my inspiration on my roll? Because I never use them.
Sure, of course, that's what it's for.
We just re-rolling. Yeah.
Well,
That's
as
a
we're
5.
Yeah, as
You really
Rebecca
weren't very inspired, were you?
No.
watching them, so friends will just bend down to Yorick and just a bit of words of encouragement and to give him guidance at the same time. Now, Mr. Yorick, just let your faith shine. Anybody who knows you for longer than 5 minutes can see that your faith emanates from every pore of your body. Just let it out, let it shine, and I'm sure he'll answer.
That's just the mead sweat.
Now, all this feels like I'm about to make a specific D20 roll. But, and please tell me if this is a terrible idea. I was thinking about trying out a first divine intervention.
If that's what
Is
you want
there-
to do, that's perfectly
Well,
fine.
I'm just wondering, is there anything that's occurred with the assistance or the setting or anything that might help that in a role?
What, your 2 high priests here helping you isn't enough.
Okay. Okay, so divine intervention, you've got to roll underneath a 10.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, it's a real.
Okay.
The big ask.
I'll tell you what.
It's a.
With all of these help actions, and you've got guidance as well. I will say, if you roll under a 30 on your divine intervention, which I think is a fair bit, it will succeed. Plus, you can add your D4 for guidance and take that off, whatever you roll. So if you roll 34 and you get 30, that will still count. Does that seem like a fair ruling?
That all seems very fair.
Okay.
I still feel like I'm hindering myself because a 30% chance is less than whatever the D20 roll would be. But
We'll
this
still
will be
get
cool.
a single
It'll be
figures.
cooler if it works, guys.
But
Single figures.
you do have inspiration. Now, inspiration can be used on any roll. Just saying.
So effectively, you have advantage because you can roll twice if you want to.
Yeah. So after I've finished addressing the people, I'm going to turn to the Temple of Reox, and I'm going to have my warhammer in one hand, and I will pull a tankard of ale from somewhere that I've definitely always got on my person.
Gus probably just hands you a tank of ale, I would say.
Just holding like tokens to Reorcs and just look up at the temple and say, Reorcs, be here and judge these and smite down the unworthy and restore balance to this place.
No, really go for it. Okay, full on dwarf.
In for a penny, in for a pound. No, wait, I'm not a Scottish dwarf. Oh, 87. Okay.
That's a little higher than I would like it to be.
You only need to roll like.
In the top 30 percentile, right?
All you
Unfortunately,
need
not.
now is a 50. What? 54 on a D4.
So I've knocked off my inspiration. I'm rolling the D4. That's now a 3. And we'll re-roll.
So, 33 or under, we're good.
We're in for a third.
Oh my god.
It's just not having it, is it?
I
So,
rolled like 3, 5, 6 on the D20s, and now I'm.
Just out of
You
interest,
can
roll,
dice.
roll the D20 one and see what you would have got.
I don't.
Yeah, just to really rub it in.
Don't
No,
You should
maybe
never do that to yourself.
don't do that. No.
8 on the
too
dice.
late. He's done it. 8. You wouldn't have got there anyway.
So, as you make this plea, you hear in your head, now, Yorick, for me to be present in the world, to smite wrongdoers and evildoers, as you say, is not how this works. I give of my power to you and to Sprocket and all of my other children and champions and priests and clerics. This is something the dwarves have to work out for themselves. I'm happy to appear and reinforce your narrative, but I will not make the decisions for you. I have recently been chastised somewhat by my treatment of young Sprocket. And I've realized that I've been lacking in my judgment. So, I will appear, I will speak, but I will not judge. This will be the dwarves to judge their own.
I'm understand. That makes sense. I was just going for a big gesture, but I appreciate you.
Oh, there will still be a big gesture. But not in the way you think.
Okay.
Sprocket, make a religious roll, please. Or religion check.
An image of Riox appearing to mourn the audience.
11.
11. You heard every single word of that.
Okay. I won't intervene.
Okay, it's fine. So, as you finish speaking in your mind to Riox, a hush gathers across the crowd that you have your back to, as striding out of the forge entrance comes the vision of Riox you've all seen before. Shirtless, beard, hammer, mug of ale, like a mirror of you, Yorick. But bigger, but still a dwarf, but scaled up. He strides out, and his voice echoes around the city. So, the mighty dwarves of Daghold, you gather to feel the justice of the orcs. Well, I would remind you that you should be living well together. For each other, you should be mining, smithing, drinking, making merry. You should be going out into the world, interacting with the other peoples. You should be stopping being close-minded, and you should be trying desperately to get on with all peoples, and this includes dragons. So, the close-mindedness I was talking about has brought you to this point. You will need to make a decision here today. These three, and he points back at them, will talk to you, and you will make the decision. Because dwarves are strong of mind and body. Dwarves are independent, fierce, loyal, drunk, fun, and above all, wonderful. So, I beseech you, my dwarves, my beautiful dwarves, think well on what these people speak and make the decision correctly. I will be nearby, waiting your decision. He sort of fades into mist and is gone.
And I'll be the first to go, what?
Yeah, a lot of other dwarves join in. He's like, yeah!
Trenador doesn't join in with the clapping and looks really uncomfortable during the whole of the speech when he talks about what it means to be a dwarf, that sort of thing.
Okay.
And Gus will just be jumping around, shouting his head off.
Yeah, there's a lot of that going on.
I'm going to be keeping an eye on the clerics of Reorcs to see which ones look like really sort of kind of.
Okay, make a perception check for me.
I'll be doing the same, but with the council.
Okay.
So when I'll, yeah.
Perception or insight with the council, because you're right near them.
Yeah.
I am not taking my eyes off of Badelin.
Okay, again, insight or perception.
There is nothing I do not see. Natural 20 for 33.
Woof! Okay, so 33. You scan.
33. I'd got that on a D100.
You scan the crowd, picking out especially these clerics of Reorcs. Almost all of them are jumping up and down with joy, clapping their hands. There are about 5 or 6 you see just edging towards the back of the crowd, trying to sort of clap and cheer their way towards the exit of this square.
I want to make a note of their appearance and any distinguishing features that will help me
you could do
describe
that
to Yorick what clan they might be from.
Yeah, which, with a 33, you could do that with ease. You see 6 of them. They look high-ranking clerics, not as high-ranking as Varand or his cronies that were in the fight that you had with them, but sort of, you would suggest just a little bit under that. So probably ones that had knowledge of what was going on and kept the secrets from the rest of the people. But yeah, you would recognise them again if you saw them. Okay, for ends, you were looking at the council.
That's a natural 20 for 29.
Oh my god!
Did you do perception or insight?
Insight.
Insight. Okay, so Thrinnen, overjoyed to see Reorcs, very happy, absolutely
As expected.
As expected. Varend was white as a sheet, absolutely terrified.
Attacking his parents.
Yeah,
Because he's the one who basically spurned Yorick several times regarding his connection to Reorcs during the
he's the one that you showed Reorcs in the Forge to, and he still said, but then he's since obviously been rethinking his choices and life altogether, and is absolutely terrified, petrified. Baidlin, on the other hand, seems unfazed, unbothered. Just sort of, what a brilliant speech! Absolutely, so good, so good. Absolutely sarcastic. And Melissa?
Unfortunately, not a natural 20.
Oh,
but,
what?
A 19 for 24 on
24.
On insight, specifically on Baidlin.
Okay.
I'm trying to get a read on what he's doing, what he's planning. Why is he so not bothered by this situation?
Okay. You, with that, it's quite a high insight check, and as you was focusing on one person, I will say that it definitely seems like he has a plan. It feels like, to your senses, that he has an out. This is not a person that's worried necessarily. He might be a little worried, but he's not overly worried. It feels to you that he has an out. He has a plan to get away or get on top of things. The confidence is high. He's a little worried, but the confidence is high. Okay.
Just thinking.
Anybody else want to do anything?
I'm still just at the front, ready to compare.
Okay. So,
I'm
Melissa?
going to keep my hand on my bow.
Okay.
Ready to activate my Crimson Right if I need to, because I'm watching Baidlin.
Okay. Let me just roll a quick check for him. No, he doesn't notice, or doesn't appear to notice. So, after that speech by Reorcs, the crowd, as they start to calm down, start to look to you, Yorick. Sort of attention, expecting you to say something or do something.
Well, it would seem like Reorcs has put us in the position to judge these 3. Now, I already know my mind on who's guilty of what, but I will let the 3 of them speak to you, one at a time, and you lot can make the decision.
Okay.
We will also, gesturing to friends, correct any inaccuracies in their stories. Brennan, if you don't mind, I would like you to speak first.
Right, well, thank you, Yorick. That was certainly interesting, wasn't that? That was really good. Oh, sorry. Right. My name is Thrinan Lodelv. I am a council member and the ruling clan leader of the Lodelvs. I was certain that we were doing the right thing, but I now know that we were not. Shorehammer had control over my decisions. I was drugged. These lovely people cured me of that affliction. And I will say this. We need a scalebane on the council once more. It's not complete without one. We also need the priesthood to be more open about what they're doing and be more welcoming and actually help people rather than being withdrawn and secretive. Now, as a dwarf and as a Lodelv, this is my testimony.
Well, good people of Darkhold, how do you judge Thrinan Lodelv?
There's a sort of murmuring. It's, Sybil steps in. Perhaps we ought to make like a sign, sort of like thumbs up for.
Here, yeah. I was getting there.
Oh, right. I knew you
No,
were. I was
no.
just helping a little. It was just fine.
It's kind of hard to ask a big group of people a question that has varying answers. So, I should probably give some sort of option that you can vote on. That
Maybe all
seems
those
to
in
make-
favour.
Right. But, like, are we
Mr.
saying all in favour of keeping them on the council or keeping them alive? Or.
Well, I reckon if you do like, should they be
Guilty
on the
and
council
innocent.
or not, and then we can, if they're not on the council, we can then decide later on what happens.
Oh, I see. Right.
Mr. Yorick, if I light my staff up when I go and stand on the one side, all those in favour can come and stand by me, and all the ones not can go to the other side. If that would help.
Maybe. There's a lot of moving around, and that could take some time. Let's just do a cheer and see if we can judge.
Right.
But if we can't tell, then yeah, we'll do groups. This is hard work. This is. Right. People of Daggold, all in favour of keeping Thrinan Lodelv on the council, say beer.
Okay. So
And then I'll do the opposite.
yeah,
Just.
I just want to roll. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So there's a big shout for beer. So you'll have to hear the other one before you can make a decision as to which was louder, obviously.
I will then pose
Yeah.
the antithetical question and see. I've just proven I'm smarter than Yorick, that's all.
I've got images of Yorick being like at a gig, Dackhole, I can't hear you.
Look at me, I'm a roadie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
Okay, so I'm going to roll a persuasion. No, actually, that's not right. Let's do it randomly. I'm going to roll. No, I think. Okay, we'll put it as a group. If you were all voting based on his speech and what you know, would he stay on the council?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
pretty overwhelmingly, yes. The dwarves, being of a sensible disposition, decide that that's a good thing too.
He seems a decent chap.
Yeah.
Just, being drugged.
Okay, so Thrinan takes a step back, takes a seat onto one of the benches outside the forge. So,
as like the cheering's going on, I'm just going to circle around the stage. Feels like we're on a stage.
you're pretty much
list.
on. It's sort of a platform with steps that go down to where everybody's grouped up.
I'm just going to sort of circle around to Melissa, just sort of getting her ear, or backing her down, getting her ear. I'm going to call Baidlin last. Be ready for it.
He has a plan. Either to get out of here or to make things go his way. Be ready.
So I'll then come back round. Right. It would seem the fact that Threaded was drugged, which I can attest to, by the way, he definitely was. He has been forgiven and remains on the council. So next, I call Varand to the stage.
Varand steps up. He's regained a little bit of colour, but he's still very shaky. Right, well, you all know me. My name's Varand. I'm not going to say anything more than I am guilty. I am resigning from my position from the council immediately, and my position as High Priest. I have shamed both of these high officers. I will now, as penance, offer to shave my beard and exile myself from Darkhold until the end of my days. May Reorks have mercy upon me. That is my decision. It's what I deserve. And he steps back. Now,
Well,
as dwarves, you would know that shaving your beard off is a really big no-no. That is a mark of extreme shame. And there are shocked looks in the crowd.
well, it would seem that Varand has accepted responsibility for his part in this, and has even offered to shave his beard. I would like to put a vote to you, however, as to whether we allow him to stay in Daghold. With his beard shaven, mind. Those in favour of allowing him to stay.
The shout is huge. You would suggest that every single dwarf has wanted him to stay, because the shame will be so much greater if he's in Daghold than out.
Part of it.
Yeah. You see, look at Varand's like, his just head drops.
Is everyone in the way pretending to be a halfling?
Yeah.
Well, I don't think we need to hear the other side of the vote for that. Varand, you must shave your beard, but stay in Daghold. Hopefully, over time, you can earn the respect of these great people and of Reorks.
I will do what is needed to be done.
I've sent a message to him with.
Oh, sorry. I was having far too much fun.
I rolled poorly on what I've done.
You rolled poorly.
Well,
I was just thinking that.
in all other cases it would be a good roll, but in this one, no.
Yeah. Okay, if you roll that.
As well.
You're doing it just before he speaks, yes?
I'll be doing it whilst they're doing the one with
Varand.
Okay. I'll send that to you.
Vinny's WhatsApp come through. I forgot he wasn't here. There's a lot going on.
There is just one or two things. Plus, we started late. And, yeah, okay.
My beard is getting moist from mead.
Well, you're just saving it for later.
Saving some for later.
So, as the Varan speech is happening, Ferenz, you would notice, Melissa, you definitely notice Baelin doubles over in pain, sort of looks around.
What does this seem to be? Does this seem to be in reaction to what I've just done?
Oh, sorry, I read that wrong. It's damage to yourself, isn't it?
That's damage to myself.
Okay, let me see if he...
Yeah.
No,
I have to turn it on in order to use the thing I want to use.
Yeah, okay. He hasn't noticed so. your stealth roll beat him. So you I take that back. That's not what happened.
Yeah. Perceptive people have probably noticed that Melissa's bow has got a little bit of lightning arcing on it at the moment.
So yeah, any of those with a passive Celeste, probably the highest passive perception. Yeah, you definitely notice. You've seen this before. Melissa's activated something. So it puts most of you on edge as you just feel that tiny smell of ozone, of lightning happening.
Yeah, instead of a really placid smile on Ferenzi's face.
Cool.
If you want to go for the comedy angle, Miette and Ferenzi's boat would probably pop up with staff electricity.
So, as Feren's judgment comes to an end, Yorick.
So, we come to the last judgment of Baelin Slaghammer.
Shorehammer.
Right? Shorehammer, sorry. I was trying to do it from memory.
Slaghammer.
Slag. So we come to the judgment of Baelin Shorehammer, who appears to be, looks over him, the ringleader of all the wrongdoing here. But as has been ordered by Riox himself, I will give him an opportunity to speak to you. Baelin.
Oh. Why, thank you so much, Yorick. You're, as ever, the epitome of charm and style. So, you all know me. I'm the one making us all rich. However, the Scalebanes seem to want to bring chaos and disorder to our very door. They bring in outsiders, and he sort of gestures behind him. As they assault the priesthood, he points at Varand. Poor Varand has been so traumatized he's offered to shave his beard. This is absolutely outrageous. They want to usurp the council, stealing away the seats from under us. Our proud history shows that when a family craves power such as these Scalebanes, we rise up, we defeat them. The Bright Axes overstepped their bounds, and we dealt with them correctly. Now, I say, we deal with the Scalebanes in the same manner befitting of those that would overstep their bounds. Young Scalebane, as you seem to be in charge of proceedings.
I'm sorry, Baelin, but the good people of Daghold are too intelligent to fall for your slimy words.
And I suspect
There has been no point I have said the Scalebane should take any sort of charge. The only point of order that has been mentioned about the Scalebanes was by Thrinan, who suggested a Scalebane should be on the council. And I have suggested nothing to the contrary of that. Well, and there should be a council of dwarves, not run by one house, certainly not by my house. I'm not using this as an opportunity to gain any power. You should not believe that man.
Oh dear.
And frankly, I think he needs to be put to death, and I don't say that lightly about another dwarf.
Well, how
Can I
exciting.
say something?
No. Be quiet.
asking you.
Another Scalebane weighing in on this? Don't we have
You're
enough?
just doing exactly what you've accused us of. You're
What?
trying to take power and control everybody.
I am
And we
just
should
making
rise
everyone
up and
rich.
put you down.
So making people rich is a crime now, is it?
Making people rich off of suffering.
I mean, there's been no suffering at my hand. Nobody has suffered from my hand.
Oh, but Balin, you know about those little dragons.
I
The pain that they're in.
I mean, what Varand was up to with the priesthood is not really of my concern. I take
but
the gems
you
and
still
sell them
allowed it
on.
to happen.
I didn't allow or disallow anything. I took the gems, sold them on, made a profit, ploughed the profits back into Daghold.
And also, wasn't it you who was dragon threatening?
I don't think you could lay that accusation at me. And actually, while we're laying accusations at people, outsiders allowed at this event?
I'm sorry, but did I not hear Briox himself say we should be talking with outsiders and not holed up in our little cave? Are you going against the words of Briox himself, who spoke to this very delegation of dwarves?
It was a very, very convincing illusion, of course. It was very good. But it was just an illusion. It was magic. These outsiders were muttering and speaking, and that's how they do. That's how they do things out there. They conspire against the dwarves. They conspire to keep us out of sight and out of mind. But they love the gems and the gold, don't they?
Just turn back to the people. So, I am here to ask you for your judgment, so let's do that.
Okay, this
So
one.
this...
Sorry, carry on.
So this person who, other than the desire for gold, has not shown any temperament of a dwarf that I know or respect.
Oh.
He
Hello.
stands here with his words. But how do you all feel? Why don't we have a vote to see how many of you think he should be allowed to stay in Daghold?
There is a lot of murmuring going on as dwarves sort of turn to each other, and there's a lot more seem undecided. Some of them obviously swayed by the words of Bagelin Shorehammer. But I'm going to roll in the campaign. If I can I?
I think you have to. You can change who you send it to.
Not sure I can roll it.
You have to do it off of someone's
Yeah, I'll have
sheet.
to do it. I'll do it on Yorick's sheet.
Oh no, the cursed sheet.
Oh no. Shitty rolls.
If I may just say, what good is it to have these golden gems if you're causing a war between the dragons and they will not stop hunting you
Excuse me.
until you are all dead?
Excuse me. This is a known thief. This person should not be allowed to speak. She stole or attempted to steal from my
Fine,
establishment.
I'll say it for you. hunting the dragons and fighting them outside of your city, that's fine, but does it not make sense that they would retaliate for having their young stolen and tortured in the way that they have to get enough gems to make this man his money? Money and the suffering that he knows about and could have put forward to stop, could have stopped all of this destruction and death and
Oh,
this
well,
entire war that you're facing.
death and
But
destruction,
instead,
and
he's
death and
focused
destruction.
on his own greed, gold, and power.
Well, if we're quite finished listening to the outsiders again, who seem to think that they could just rock up here and make speeches on behalf of the Scalebanes, again, notice the Scalebanes are allowing this. Notice the Scalebanes saying, oh, we don't want power, and yet there are 3 of them up on this platform with their friends. Where are my friends? You are down there, common, noble dwarves, waiting for these idiots to stop speaking so you can make the correct choice and vote for me to carry on the council, making us all lots of money.
So, you've heard the arguments and how the 3 Scalebanes up here aren't the ones down there voting like your friends are, Baitland. Which would seem more important than having them up here, wouldn't it? But
depends on how many
good
voices you have, doesn't it?
Good people of Downhold. The decision is over to you.
Okay.
Firstly, should
Carry
Baitland stay on the council?
on. Okay, so I'm going to roll a D100.
Okay.
And I would like Yorick, Gus, and Trelador to roll a d20 each, please.
Sorry, did you need one from me?
I think
No
this is
modifiers,
gonna-
just straight d20.
Do you need one from me, or is it just the dwarves?
Just the dwarves. Oh, Yorick.
16.
What is wrong with you today?
That has cursed me.
I got a 5 as well. Oh no.
So you got
I heard those rolls earlier.
5, 5, and 16.
Better.
Yeah.
So 26 in total, yes? Is that right?
No, it's 5, 2, and 16.
Oh, it's just 2.
Yeah,
Oh,
23.
23 in total. Okay. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to roll a d100. I'm going to add the 23. That's the percentage of dwarves that want him to stay in the council.
Oh god.
Unless anybody else has any clever moves to add to that 23.
I don't know if there's a way that I can expose his pact.
Oh, listen, you can out him, can't you?
I'm trying to think.
Out him.
I don't know if Charm Person would work, and it would make me very suspicious.
Can I exploit a link that I didn't know was there until she spoke to me? And can I ask Dell to bring one of the aberrations they were farming to us?
Interesting. So what? Tell me exactly what you say to her.
So outwardly, everybody would just hear sort of friends. You would have seen him sort of like pull his cloak entirely back, and you've just seen this sort of shimmering opalescent scale armor, which is clearly dragon scales.
Right.
And you'll just hear him use the hum of the old draconic song that the great Crystal Drake taught them. And in his mind, he's going to be using that to communicate with Dell and just be like, Miss Dell, I know I'm asking a lot, but I think we need a couple of those corpses where they were farming them dragons to prove our point. Otherwise, the main ringleaders might get away with it.
There's a pause.
You know,
Sorry, go ahead.
you know what? You know I'm sincere, and I want to stop this war. Dragons are my friends, and they always have been. And I would love everybody else to have the same experience that I've had.
Okay. Give me a persuasion roll, please, with advantage.
Okay. Yeah, and sort of saying that Ferenz is basically going to, in his mind, picture all of the positive interactions he's had with the Crystal Drake,
Okay.
and you'll just probably only Celeste would notice, but you'll see sort of a small tear just start to drop down his cheek. Well, that's actually not too bad. I haven't got any bonuses, but 16.
16. Okay. There's a pause. In your mind, you hear. Well, I really need to stay here with these eggs, but hold on. And she says, "I'll be right there. Hang on." And there's a shout at the edge of the crowd. "Oi, make way, make way, look what I bloody got!" And it's Del in dwarven form, dragging one of these aberrations up.
The rest of the group would just see sort of this massive smile on Ferenzi's face.
"This is what they've been doing." She throws it down. The dwarves sort of scatter, and a sort of big gap opens up in the crowd as they all look at it.
Is it still leaking gems?
Yes. "This is what they've been doing down there." So, roll a d20 for me, please, Ferenz. And we will add that. If anybody else has got anything else they want to add to this.
15.
15. Excellent. So we're now at 38.
Look upon this suffering that has brought war to your city, forced your children and elders to go into hiding and flee. This suffering that this man could have stopped.
Okay, you're going for a persuasion, are you?
Yeah.
Okay, roll a persuasion check.
I've only got expertise in it, it'll be fine.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah,
there
but
was a
I've got
religion check earlier.
20 for 31.
31. Okay,
Yeah.
so we're now up to 69. Nice.
Nice.
Has anybody else got anything they wish to add?
Well, Sprocket. No, you were involved, weren't you?
Anybody else? No? Okay. I'm going to roll a D100 now.
So is it if we
That's a
get
39.
below...
Plus 69 is over 100. So it is unanimous. The crowd starts chanting, "Death, death, 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 death." They've completely bypassed your "should he stay on the council" one and have just voted straight for death.
There'll be a little smile, and I'm going to turn around. I'm going to walk towards Sprocket and just say, "Remove his head."
I don't want to go against you, but I think justice should be done by a dwarf.
And I'll shoot him in the head.
Okay. Take a shot.
Okay.
I'm going to be watching him to see if he's planning to any kind of magic or any kind of teleportation in particular.
Okay.
And that's going to prompt me to shoot him.
27 to hit.
27 definitely hits.
Actually, no, it's too late. I was going to say I'd do that with Great Weapon Master, but not Great Weapon Master. With
Sharpshooter.
Sharpshooter.
What does that do? That takes 10 off it, right?
No, take 5 off, so it's 22.
Still hits.
Okay.
Melissa,
Damage.
you're watching this guy, yeah?
Mm.
He starts to cast.
Loosing an arrow at him.
Okay, roll for attack. Sorry, what was your damage, please, Gus?
I haven't done it yet. Hold on a sec. I'm just trying to remember how I do this. Now, I didn't do Hunter's Mark or anything, so it's just a straight roll. So that's 15 plus 10, 25 damage.
25 damage as your crossbow bolt thwumps into his chest, sort of just above his heart.
Bugger, I was aiming for his head.
Starts to cough and
25 to hit.
yeah, 25 definitely hits.
No.
He's not wearing armor.
There's
This
several.
guy.
There's a couple of things going to happen to him here.
Okay.
That's D8 plus a D6 with my Crimson Right attack.
For a finishing blow if he's still
Okay.
going. I think.
Where are we? Okay,
Right,
so
roll.
that is.
Hey, Florian.
12 plus
Yay, Florian's here.
16, 11 plus 11 points of magic, 11 points of magical piercing and 5 points of lightning.
Okay.
And as the lightning hits him, I'll activate my brand of castigation.
Uh-huh.
So the arrow's just going to thud right above his heart and just sear into it. And several things happen, but I always know the direction to him as long as he's on the same plane as me.
Okay. I'm gonna roll Constitution check, which is not great. So he's as your arrow thuds literally just beside Gus's and starts to burn into him. He falters, stops his words, and you see as his skin starts to redden, deepen, and his bones start to crack.
Oh no.
Old person?
You can certainly try.
Late for that one.
Anymore?
As I see this start to happen, can I cast banishment on him?
You can certainly try.
I'll do it at 5th level.
Okay. Celeste?
Yeah, old person. It's wisdom save.
Wisdom save. Okay.
Only affects humans.
He got a natural 20 on that one, so yeah, he's saving.
Okay.
He's got quite high wisdom, but yeah. So yeah.
That's what a young person would wear.
As his bones crack and he starts to grow a little bit taller and spindlier, you see his robes just sort of start to fray away, almost burning with heat. And his
so glad I
face
chose lightning.
just like starts to elongate. Large
Can I go in?
tusks.
Can I go in for a punch on him?
Certainly, but let's do Ferenz first.
Yeah.
And then I believe Yorick was wanting to do something. So, Ferenz, your banishment is it's a save, isn't it?
It is
Charisma?
Charisma 18.
Charisma 18. Yeah, he makes it. It's 22.
Shit.
So it starts to crack and stretch in strange and unusual ways, and you see that his legs separate. He now has 4 legs. Florian, you were about to do something.
Yeah, I'll go in for
and
2. Like my action to like punch him twice.
Absolutely, go for it.
FYI, as you can probably hear, probably won't be doing an accent tonight if I need to.
Okay. Bit hoarse today.
So the first one is a natural 19, which will be 26 to hit.
Yep, that definitely hits.
So he'll take the damage, but can he also
Stunning strike?
Yes, but I'm looking up at
Constitution, I think.
Normally.
yeah, con saving throw his end, please.
Ooh, that's a natural 19, so yeah, that's good.
That's fine.
High.
So he takes 2 so 7 points of magical bludgeoning damage.
Yep.
From the first one.
Okay.
And then 23 to hit for the second one.
Yep, that hits.
Another con save from him, please.
That's an 18 this time, so yeah, that's
Yeah.
probably going to make it.
Can you throw away that dice, please?
No, it's my
And
little tiny
that's
DM dice.
11 points of magical
11
bludgeoning
points,
damage from the
okay.
second one. And let me just knock off those key points as well.
Okay, Yorick, what were you going to do?
Smite him with the power of reorgs.
I was going to, in the hand that I'd previously been holding that beer,
Yep.
I'm going to drop that, and in place of it will appear just this like rod of energy, and I'm going to hurl that at him, and cast Sunlight Spear.
Ooh, nice.
At 5th level.
Okay.
Just don't miss.
And I'm going real dice here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would, because D&D Beyond's been pretty shitty to you tonight.
He's about to have a
Yeah.
bad day.
It needs proper metal dice.
It does.
Yes, it does.
It's what
Yes,
you,
it does.
metal dice are the best.
I was right. That's an actual 20.
Nice.
Jesus Christ. But, I don't have a button on here. It's... What level spell is that? Second.
You're going to shout by the power of reorgs as you throw it.
Plus, oh,
Probably better than by the power of Grayskull.
Well,
okay. Okay.
What's that?
That's not that good, is it? Right. D&D Beyond's showing it up. It's not showing an upcast spell. But at level 2, it's 2d8 lightning and 2d8 radiant.
Right.
With one extra d8 per level, and I was casting it at 5th level. So it's 3d8, 5d8 radiant, 5d8 lightning,
Yeah.
times 2
Yes.
for the crit.
so 10d8 of one and 10d8 of the other. Bloody
Yeah.
hell.
That's
Ooh.
spicy meatball.
Yeah, Yorick's about to blow his load.
So that's 51 lightning.
Jesus. Or reorg fodder.
Yeah.
Yeah, quite. And 37 radiant.
37 radiant. Okay. That's. You see the lightning arc into it as you hurl this spear. It sort of splits into a lightning bolt and a shaft of sunlight into this creature. This no longer can be called a dwarf. It screams in pain as the sunlight spear hits it, and the radiant damage you see sort of crackling across. The lightning damage seems to hurt it, but the radiant damage is just causing it intense pain, and it sort of drops, well, not to its knees, but sort of halfway, sort of curls over and starts to. It finishes its transformation, and it is a grotesque parody of a dwarf. 4 stubby legs, 3 stubby arms, and this sort of. It's not a beard, it's just like tendrils of flesh that are sort of waving in front of its chest, where these arrows have gone in, and these lightning holes and sunlight holes, and it's screaming. And Reorx appears and looks. So we have a demon or a devil or something in our city. Sprocket. Or would you like to be called Trelador? Up to you.
We can discuss this later, but Trelador will do.
Trelador. He reaches to you. If I may.
Sprockador.
He just touches the shaft of your axe gently. says, "We will talk after this, but would you do me the intense honor of killing this thing?"
Badly. And I will.
Warrior attack at advantage.
I forgot how to barbarian. So I'll attack. Yeah. At advantage. That is a 27.
Definitely.
Nice.
It's 14 points of damage, and then I can smite or do that thing.
Yep.
Which I can't find at the moment.
It's been a while, to be fair.
If you're using a first level slot, it'll be 2d8
No,
then-
it's the thing on the
on the axe.
Searing Smite at level 2.
Nice.
So there it is. So they don't need to. Do they need to make a save? Con save against it? I think they do. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, that's
Yes.
terrible. No. What's the DC?
13.
No, didn't save.
So they take
I rolled 2
Three.
on the dice.
3d6. I think it is. Maybe wrong. I need to write a cheat sheet. 13 points of reoxy damage.
13 points of reoxy damage. Okay. So, Trelador, describe to me how you end this creature.
I will look at Yorick, like give him a nod. Look at Gus, give him a nod, and then sort of do a sort of leaping strike and just bring the axe down, cleave into shouting. 4 Yorks.
Awesome. So as you bring the axe down and it splits this creature in two, you can see the radiant damage coming off of your axe. It just infuses this creature and just starts to just dissolve it, and it turns into a sort of smeary patch of oil-like substance that's sort of bubbling. And Riox turns to users. Thank you, Gelador.
You're welcome.
Champion of Riox.
That I am.
Gus, Scale Main.
Gar,
You're a good boy. Well done.
thank you.
Yorick,
Can you talk to me?
I have never been more proud of you. And as for the rest of you, thank you for supporting these three in their journey so far. Now, important stuff, and he addresses the whole crowd. End the bloody war, or I will turn all the beer into water. Okay, you've been warned.
It's just a wave of beer over the
Yeah,
dwarves'
the whole
faces.
crowd just goes, what?
I'm going to start chanting, Riox, 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 Riox.
Absolutely. Everybody starts to join in, and he just sort of turns, waves, bows, and vanishes. And that's a good place to have a break.
Oh, yes.
You
So-
just hear friends in the background go, "What? That's so righteous."
Right, we will be back after these very important messages and to give my throat a bit of a rest. So, be right back. And welcome back. We return to the scene where Riox has just left the stage, or the platform in front of his forge, with Trelador, his champion, smiting the devil that had been in the form of one Baidlin Shorehammer. Which begs the question, where is Baidlin Shorehammer? If he's still alive at all. So, with all that furor and everybody shouting Riox's name, what would you like to do?
I'm going to deactivate my Crimson Right.
Okay.
Is there a corpse there?
No. It's just a sort of a patch of sort of bubbling, reddish, dark red. Not really blood. It's more sort of it's bubbling and hissing as it sort of gets smaller and smaller. Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
When he changed, did he look similar to the big mutations that were following my scent earlier on in the campaign.
And yeah, on a similar vein, does my scar hurt?
Okay, so Florian, make a history check.
So Dan's asking if he was Voldemort.
Yeah, and Trelador or Sprocket. Trelador, please make a. Actually, no.
A self-awareness check.
Yeah, it's a self-awareness check. So you know, roll needed. You feel it just briefly, just go. Zoom. As this thing as you kill this thing, there's a sort of pulse of pain. But you could probably start that out in on the upswing.
23 for the history.
23. Very similar. Very similar indeed. Not exactly the same. This was a much smaller version of it, but that same feeling of not quite natural, something crafted or created from a base creature.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry. Go ahead, Fiona.
While they're doing this, I don't really want to do this on Reorx's holy ground, so I'll move sort of down the steps and away from the temple forge a little bit. And I just want to take a minute to sort of try and speak, at least, or just. I don't need a response from him, but I just want to let the Great Crystal Drake know that it's begun. And he's just, just these sort of friends just thinking, and then he'll glaze over slightly and just be like, well, we've made the first steps, and I think that we've made a friend in Delamere, and hopefully that we can start making more. But you did say something strange. By any chance is your name Shine?
Okay, make a religion check for me.
Oh shit. It's a natural 20 for 24.
Nice.
Oh, I need to stop using the dice.
As you're chatting away like you do, and you don't often expect an answer, it's more of a sort of a feeling or a warmth or a sort of general idea of something. You get that warmth and that sort of connection you make sometimes when you're able to locate each other. But then there's something new. There's an echo almost of your voice comes back. Shine. Shine. Rise and shine. That's it. That's all you get.
Then literally some friends would be doing exactly that. It's just going.
Yeah, anybody that's sort of Celeste, you see Ferenz is just sort of, I don't know, just like wiggling in delight.
But the scales on his armor begin to sort of just glow, and he's sort of just for a second he emits this just blazing shine that just shrinks back in immediately.
Cool. So you get the idea that maybe that is a name that's associated with this particular creature.
Well, this trip is just turning out to be so righteous. I'm so excited.
I'd like to go up to Yorick and say, Yorick, I think we need to get the city celebrating tonight because we've gained them freedom. So maybe we should speak to my mum about getting some free beer around for everybody. And then we could maybe go between all the pubs and have a few drinks and tell them what life's really like.
Yeah, perfect.
I told you, I'm the brains of this outfit, mate.
I know, mate. We'd have got nowhere without you.
I know. I need a promotion, I think.
Double brains.
Can I also look around and see if Dell's still about, or has she disappeared?
Certainly make a perception check.
You're it.
Oh, is that a 20 or a 1?
23 came up with.
20 for 23. Ooh,
Nice.
I'm keen.
You look around and you just see her disappearing off back.
All right,
towards,
okay.
the
I was going to go and
other-
have a talk to her, but if she's going, I'll leave her to go.
yeah, you suspect that she's gone back to resume her egg healing duties.
I'll just enjoy watching her walk away then.
Fair enough. Oh
It's-
gosh, that's
You
gosh,
seem
that's
to leave.
harsh.
I love watching you walk away.
Awesome.
Is Varen still up here with us on the stage?
Yeah, he hasn't moved.
I'm gonna kind of step over to him and just kind of look down to him. Did you know that about Balin?
Huh? No, I didn't. That was weird.
It's the corruption of the Hells. There's
Right.
a lot going on, so
Okay.
I suggest you. This is just a recommendation, advice. Find your faith, because you may well need it.
Right. Yep. Right. Feel like, excuse me, I need to go and shave.
I'll give him. I'll give him a kind of a look of what's the word I'm looking for? Kind of like empathy, kind of like I understand how painful that must be for you.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. Whilst I'm doing that, is he just truly that deeply remorseful?
Make an insight check.
He's a broken man. Plus 4, I think my insight is. No, plus 5. Oh, 23.
23. Yeah. He's genuinely rocked to his core. You can see that he wasn't a believer in Riox. He literally thought it was stories for children, to scare the children to bed. So it's just words on stone, words on paper, doesn't mean anything. And now, of course, he's seen a cleric of Riox invoke Riox not once but twice, and a champion of Riox kill a devil in Daghold. So yeah, he is absolutely broken.
So you're saying that he saw his face, now he's a believer? Not a trace of doubt in his mind.
Let's all take a moment to give that.
What a monkey.
Yeah.
Is there a de-inspiration?
You get uninspired. You get uninspired.
If I was DM, I would have given you inspiration for that nap. But
Thank you.
I'm
I never
not.
get inspiration from Chaz.
That's not true.
I'm not allowed it.
I just took 8 points of psychic damage.
Yorick.
Yeah.
I know that this is a big time of celebration, but I noticed that when Reorx emerged from the forge, that there were half a dozen individuals that did not seem pleased by this. In particular, clerics who were supposed to be devoted to him. So there
Right.
might want to be a change up in the temple. But I
Okay.
have taken a good note of who they were, and we can sort it out at some
Good
point.
to know. Thank you. I think we'd best make sure we help to appoint the next high priest. I'd like to do it myself. Maybe one day.
Maybe.
Can't think of anybody better.
I have important on the ground work to do first. But I should at least speak one last time to the people. And I'm going to turn to the group. And I'm sure there's sort of a bit of panic and confusion going on.
Well, yeah, I mean, most of them are shouting Reorcs, but it's quietening down, and people are starting to think about going and having a beer.
Oh, my wonderful, faithful friends of Daghold, I'm so relieved to see all of this come around as it has, and we have resolved the old council to one member who stays, one member who no longer has his position, and whatever that disgusting creature was that was pretending to be a dwarf that Riox himself has assisted in putting down in its place with the help of Sprocket, the champion of Trelador.
No.
That may be the mead talking. Sprocket, the champion of Riox. They're like a big
Nod.
give it up.
I mean, I'll
there
try
are
and look like I
cheers.
don't look. Yeah, I try and look like I don't like the attention, but I do.
Yeah, there's lots of cheering going.
I'll just stand there for ages.
Yeah, okay.
So tomorrow we begin to resolve all of this. We will work to set a new council in place, 4 members once more, and we will start to mend the issues that we have had for such a long time with the dragons and make peace. And we will begin our adventures out in the greater world. But tonight
Drinking!
we drink. And wait!
What?
Tonight we drink on the penny of the Scalebanes. Cheers!
Sybil's like, oh, right, okay.
I'll give it.
She joins in as well. So, with that being
The scale
said,
bands used to be a rich family.
yeah, used to. No, they could easily handle this. Not a problem. That being said, people start to split up into groups. There are kegs brought out from family houses, set up in the street, in the square. There are, you can see the proprietors of the nearest bars are bringing casks out as well. This is going to be a party in the main square of the city, where everybody can get drunk, fall over, be safe, and generally have a fantastic time. Dwarven style. It's like Gangnam Style, but shorter and more beardy.
And more beer.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's where the word beard came from. Beer and
The beard up, yeah.
I was thinking a moment ago, like perhaps the word shame has a dwarven origin from the word shave.
Does now.
Like someone just like spelt it wrong, and
Yep. No, that seems reasonable. I'll go with that.
It's canon now.
Yep, it's canon now. So, whilst this is all happening, is there anything anybody else would like to do?
I would like. Sorry, after you, Mia.
Now that things are kicking off and people are going to be suitably distracted, i.e. drunk, now is when I will choose to slink off and try and find that
Okay.
door with the very familiar symbol.
You can do that very thing. Are you just sneaking off from your friends? Do you care if they see you or not? Do you want to roll a stealth check? Is what I'm asking.
No, I'll wander off, but if I notice I'm being followed, then I might do something about it.
Yeah. I mean, realistically, the way you move, I suspect only possibly Celeste would see you unless somebody was actually looking for you. Is anybody looking for Celeste? For Miette,
Yeah.
sorry.
Not specifically. I would have just said that I would have
maybe
kept an eye
looking
on the
around
group.
for her, but I have a feeling I probably won't spot her.
Okay, make a
That's why it's
perception
important to
check.
choose your timing.
Perception 13.
Yeah. You look around, she's gone. Celeste, you see Miette disappear off into the crowd, slinking away as she does.
I'll store the knowledge in my head, but I won't do anything about it.
Okay.
I'll let her do what she needs to do.
Yeah, you also see Ferenz picking up two of the big kegs and some food and walking off towards where Dell is.
No, that seems about right to me.
Yeah. So, anybody else want to do anything?
Yes.
Particular? Yep, Celeste.
I'm going to go to see Florian, who's going to be the only person probably not getting drunk tonight.
Probably.
And, Florian.
Yes, Celeste. He says in a Southern American accent, which you will hear.
Of course.
Definitely canon that.
I have, pointed this out to Yorick already, but I feel with the celebrations tonight, it is not on his mind. But there are 6 of the priests from the temple who may have intentions that are not in line with Reorcs. So I was wondering, since I know that you're unlikely to be partaking in the festivities, if you could perhaps keep an eye out.
Certainly. Just let me know which ones they are. And for me, Fiddy, as a player, I take it I missed this whilst I was away of what you picked up on.
Yes, while they were doing the speeches on the stage and talking and getting the basically all of the
It was basically
council.
when Reorcs turned up.
5 or 6 clerics weren't excited. They kind of edged away and scarpered.
Right, okay.
Do I still see them around at the moment, or
Make a perception check. There's a lot of dwarves.
24?
24. You don't see any of them. It's not because they're not there. It's not because you don't see them. They're just not there.
They don't appear to be here at the moment. Might be worth checking out the temple, but I will give him a full description of each one of the dwarfs and any distinguishing features I can remember about them.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
Do I know where the temple is? Have we been past one?
You're stood right outside the temple. It's
okay.
The Temple of the Forge is in this main city square, because I forgot you weren't here at the start, where there's a large entryway that's up some steps. There's a platform with benches and anvils and surprisingly forges, which is where there's Gus rang the emergency bell to bring all of the dwarves from the city into this square. It's a huge square where this trial took place.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so I'll just sort of be meandering about, meandering about, perhaps, yeah. Just whilst the movement of all the dwarves are going on. Obviously, they're shuffling and going to different directions.
Oh, they're not shuffling. They're dancing, partying, drinking, singing.
And yeah,
Arousing.
at some point, I will just try and get inside the temple. I mean, if the doors are closed.
To be clear, Celeste, these people were moving away from the temple.
Okay.
But if you want to get Florian to look inside the temple, that's
I will direct him to where I last saw them.
Well, they kind of were splitting up into different directions so that they weren't looking obvious. But obviously, you rolled a natural 20 for 30 billion.
3.
So, yeah, you saw them all sort of heading off in various directions. But yeah, you're more than welcome to check out the temple, Florian, if you want to.
Yeah, I think I'd do that anyway, just to make sure.
It's not closed off. The doors are wide open. There are various priests setting out kegs in the temple as well.
Yeah.
Everybody is literally celebrating this. It almost feels like a liberation of the city.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'll just be sort of like walking past, nodding, smiling, waving at everyone who's in there. I'll take just what's the word I'm looking for? Like a look at what looks like normal for like a dwarven temple, from what I've seen of the city, and obviously what Yorick and Gus have said about dwarven masonry and everything like that along the journey.
Yep.
And then after I've done that, I will be looking around in those places. I think like like what could be a secret place or something like that. Is there anything out of the ordinary where these priests may have stored?
Make a perception or investigation roll, your choice.
I think they're both the same for this character.
Well, there'll be slightly different outcomes depending on which one you choose. Because obviously perception, you're just looking. Investigation is more of a hands-on
no
type
guts,
of thing.
No guts and no glory. Let's go for investigation then.
Let's do it.
Oh, that's not bad. So rolled a 15 for a 17.
17. Okay. Looking around the temple, there are some closed doors. Most everything seems open. There are a couple of closed doorways that seem to look as though they could, if followed, lead to tunnels below the city. You don't know where they go, obviously, but you surmise from other dwarven architecture that tunnels are fairly common here. There are 3 doors that are shut, but everything else is open. The forges are lit. It's hot in here. There are dwarves drinking and carousing, and there's a lot of arm wrestling going on.
Yeah. Okay.
Specifically in the temple, on anvils.
Okay. Do any of these 3 doors does any of the iconography or anything like it look different to the others?
Not at all.
Okay. I'll try the first one and just see if it is open or just locked.
You open it. It leads into down a slight ramp into a large circular room where there are boxes of gold. Boxes and boxes of gold. It's a gold storage room.
Yeah, so again, not interested. Don't touch anything. I'll just come back up, close the door, and then I'll try the second one.
Second door again leads to a very similar room. There appear to be boxes of clothing, priestly vestments, all sorts of, and there's some ceremonial hammers, it looks like, and bits and pieces to do with the priesthood.
Again, I'll come out and then just have a look in the third one.
Third one is locked.
Oh, you might say that.
And as you try the handle, you hear a footstep behind you. Well, I don't know if you want to go in there, mate. And you turn.
Oh.
There's a young female dwarf priest in her flowing robes, the symbol of Riorks on her chest, on a tabard, hammer at her side, pretty much decked out the way that Yorick is decked out, slightly less armoured because she's in the temple. Still armour, though.
Yeah.
Could I help you?
Sorry, I didn't mean to intrude. I was just making sure everyone's safety after what just went on, just to make sure there's...
No, that's fair enough. You're one of them outsiders. You come in here and you want to nose about. That's fine. We get it. Right? You tall people tend to look about a lot, so I can open the door if you want to, but I don't think you're gonna like it.
What's behind there?
Well, I tell you what then, I'll open the door for you, you could find out. Have a little sniff. She opens the door. And a very strong, pungent smell comes out of sewage. See, we keep it locked because it's a nice thick door, keeps the smell down. It's the latrine. If you want to go, like, you get the key, you pop in. Because keep it locked keeps the smell down. Because, you know, we're a temple after all.
That certainly makes
But
sense.
if you want to go, you can go.
I'm alright for the time being, but at least I know that everyone in the temple is safe.
We certainly are. She shuts and locks the door, and as she does so, you hear this sort of, you know, like a fire door, that sort of
Yeah.
It's like that. They've obviously engineered this thing to fit precisely with no air between it.
Yeah. Okay. If they were like the only 3 areas,
Everything else is open.
Yeah.
For the love of God, do not light a match.
Absolutely not.
Yeah. So again, I'll just I'll kind of walk out with probably a bit more spring in my step, knowing that the temple is at least safe.
She says, right, okay, well, you haven't got a drink, so here you go. She hands you a stein of beer. Okay, you take it easy. I know you tall fellows don't take the drink very much, but, you know, just sip it. You'll be fine. Maybe make it last a bit. You know?
I will. Thank you. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Have a lovely
And
day.
You too. And I'll walk out and I'll look for the nearest dwarf that I know to pass this stein over to.
I mean, Gus, Yorick, Trelador, what are you 3 up to?
I'll be just going around talking to people and drinking.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll be with Yorick and Gus, but not drinking a great deal. Just being very quiet, always behind them.
Okay.
I'm gonna find.
So you can
Celeste.
see those 3, so you can go up to them and do whatever you want.
Yorick would probably be the one. And I'll just kind of like lean down and be like, I think the temple's safe, at least anyway, Yorick. I got given this. Yeah, thank you.
I got your back, mate.
Yeah, and I'll just let the others do what they do, and I'll just keep an eye around the city to see if I can pick up on any of these 6 clerics.
Okay, right. We will come back to you. Miet, as you slink away to find this doorway, you find it open when you get there.
Always a good sign.
Yeah. And there is a slim male dwarf dressed in sort of grey and white leathers, sort of standing there. You can't see any obvious weapons on him, which is unusual. Most dwarves have a hammer or an axe or some sort of cudgel.
Yeah, but this Assassin's Guild.
This one's different. And he sort of looks at you coming up the street, directly at you, nods. Doesn't say a word, just nods at you.
Yeah, I will nod back. I will verbally say in common, since I don't speak Dwarvish, good evening, friend. But at the same time, in Teek's cant, I will sign the same thing. Good evening, friend.
Yeah. Without saying a word, he signs back in Thieves' Cant. He's literally standing with his arms crossed, sort of, and the bottom hand signs it back, very subtle. So, good evening.
Is the office open for business this evening?
Well, we're always open for business, as you may well have surmised. We are opening the door because it is a time of celebration, and we would not want to be seen to be not joining in. So, and he sort of reaches across into the doorway, brings out a small wooden cup and offers it to you.
Will he be taking one himself?
Oh, I'll join you. Why not?
It would.
Gives you that one, picks up another one.
It's as I said, toast to drink alone.
Indeed.
So I will tip my cup against his and drink.
Okay. He drinks as well. So, you are in the business. Is it something you need or something you're selling?
It is more information I am reporting regarding a contract previously taken out.
Interesting.
Do I report to you, or I'm sorry, I'm not used to being a guard at the doorway of
Oh, I'm not a guard.
these establishments.
I'm just joining in the general merriment and carousing. Am I doing it right?
I understand.
So. Yeah. Step inside. You step into the darkened room. As your eyes adjust, you can see this is a very well appointed room. Sort of halfway between an office and seating area.
Covered in murder holes.
No, you don't see any.
No.
Unless you want to do a perception check. First glance,
no, I know they're there. Okay. I know they're there.
Yeah, they're probably there. So, right, so contracts. Any particular one you had in mind?
I had previously taken a contract with Derek for the purpose of formation.
Derek, yes, I believe.
A half-elven woman.
I believe I have heard the name before, yes.
I regret to inform the guild that he has met an unfortunate end at the hands of Lork.
Lork, right. Okay, you see him sort of taking all of this information in. Make an insight check.
Make an insight check. Yep. Am I any good at those?
I don't know.
No, I am not. 13.
13. Well, you beat his 7, so, you know. You see, he's trying to act cool about it, but he definitely knows who Derek is. And is a little bit shocked that she has met an end to someone that he doesn't know. So this Lork person, is there a sort of bounty, as it were?
I think there may have been, but it was not a contract that I was pursuing myself.
Right. So for killing one of our own, we generally tend to exact a little bit of revenge.
Well, in that case, it may please you to know that he is taken care of.
Ah, yourself?
Indirectly. It is somewhat complicated, but suffice to say, his soul is trapped inside an amulet that was taken away from this plane by a Chaos Lord.
Wow. That's okay. That's definitely a thing that you just said. Good, excellent.
Yes.
So in an amulet.
I cannot provide any proof, but
wow.
Yes.
Okay. I will, of course, message Derek's base and report the sad news and the slightly happier news that her ender has been dealt with quite dramatically. I'm sure that will go down well.
I do hope so. It was the very least she deserved.
She was very, very good.
I think had circumstances been different, I would have enjoyed sitting down to have a drink with her.
Possibly. She was known for poisons as well, though, so it might have been a short drink. But I'm sure she would have been great company without poisons.
Well, I managed to meet her once or twice and survive the conversation, so perhaps she was even fond of me.
Sounds like she liked you very much.
While I am here, may I inquire as to the status of certain contracts?
Yes, of course. Which ones did you have in mind? My information is not totally up to date, but we'll see what we can do.
No, that is.
I take it you're
Oh,
staying
well.
around for the celebration?
Oh, yes.
Anything that I
We
don't
will.
know, we can find out possibly by tomorrow, maybe the next day.
I imagine we'll be here a while. There was previously contracts, I believe, on a group of people, including 2 scalebound cousins and possibly a tabaxi by the name of Selena.
Right.
I would wish to see if they were still current or if their details had changed.
And who was this contract? Do you know any more details about this contract? Who took it out,
No,
for
I'm
example,
afraid not.
what the reward was?
No, it has been a while since I inquired about them, so I'm afraid I don't
I see.
have details.
Well,
Also, I believe 2 humans from a cult in Dar.
right. Interesting group. Let me just have a quick
Somewhat
check.
mixed.
He sort of walks over to the what appears to be a blank wall. Makes some symbols across the wall, and a drawer pops out of it. He sort of rifles through some paperwork. Ah, yes, the contract that you mentioned. Yeah, tabaxi named Selena, Yorick, and Gus Scalebane. Would your name be Selena by any chance?
It was the name I gave.
Chuckles in approval. Nice. Well, apparently it's still active. But, as I say, I'm generally a little behind in the news because he sort of waves, indicating Daghold and the whole unusual situation.
Well, I imagine that your networks of communication shall be improving shortly.
One would certainly hope so. It would make life a little easier to move around.
Indeed. Was there anything I could do for you as I am here?
I don't believe so. I think contracts within Daghold tend to be highly specific, and no offence, but you do stand out a little bit.
Just a little, yes. Maybe
Really,
if I come back in a few years and the population has changed a little.
Maybe. That's. I suspect you would have slight difficulty in getting any work done here. At least
I could always default to my position in my family's caravan as distraction. I could be a very effective one, given that I'm presumably the only tabaxi here at the moment.
Yes, that could be. Yeah. Well, if you're staying around for a few days, then maybe we could work something out. I'll have a think and see what I've got lined up.
Wonderful. I appreciate it.
Oh, I appreciate you coming and give me the news for free. It's not often that happens.
Well, I didn't want anyone who was precious to Derek to not hear the news.
Much appreciated. In our line of work, it is often dangerous to have loved ones. But those that do deserve to be told as soon as possible.
Indeed. Well, I thank you for your help then, and I hope you enjoy the celebrations.
I will certainly try. I wish you good fortune, and maybe we'll speak again in a day or two. I'll find
Maybe
you.
so. I don't imagine it'll be hard.
It'd certainly be an easier task than ones I'm used to. And he sort of walks back with you towards the door, and again stands in the doorway, just sort of nodding at people as they go past. You notice that nobody really stops and talks, but they all know who he is.
Yeah. So don't make eye contact. Just walk past. Quickly.
Quick nod, walk past.
Nice. So exit me at stage left.
Okay. So as you head back to the main group, does anybody else want to do anything?
I think Melissa did.
Yes. I'm gonna first of all find Celeste.
I'd position myself in a place sort of as high up as I can be without being like on rooftops, if there are any such things as rooftops here. So I can just keep an eye out over the crowd.
Yeah, there are a few. I mean, staying up on the main platform that you were on, there are benches up there, and people are sat there drinking and having fun. And like I say, anvils are being used for all sorts of physical competitions. So,
just want to be somewhere I can see out over the crowd and keep an eye out to see if I can see any of those 6 people, and to make sure that Miette comes back after not too long a time.
okay.
I'm just going to point out you're an elf in a group of dwarves. You can see everything.
Yeah, you don't have to be too high up.
True.
So, Melissa, you spot Celeste up on the platform where you were, just sort of scanning the crowd.
Celeste,
Yes, Melissa.
I'm gonna go find somewhere a little quieter to take a sit and kind of collect my thoughts. I don't really want to repeat what I tried to do earlier in the tavern. Everything's been so crazy. It's a lot to think about. Probably noticed that a lot of Melissa's jewelry is gone. The only jewelry she has no gemstones in it.
Fair.
I understand.
So I'll just be over this way. Just so you don't have to worry.
If you need to talk, just come and find me.
I will, but I think I'm gonna try and talk to someone else first.
I'm always here for you, Melissa.
I'll give a nod and a smile and then head on kind of down an alleyway for a little bit just to get a little distance from the party and revelry.
It's easy enough to do. People are coming back towards the city square. If you head away, it gets sort of quieter and the noise recedes. It's still loud because everything echoes down here.
See if I can find somewhere that I can kind of find myself some quietude.
Sure.
And I'm gonna kind of sit down, put my bow on the floor, kind of take something out to kind of wipe the blood from my crimson rite off of myself a bit. And I'm gonna kneel and kind of, based on what I've seen Yorick do and what I've seen others do in the back in Dar, I am going to kind of pray.
Okay.
And just kind of whisper, I understand if you can't do anything for me, but I'm just lost and a little heartbroken. And I just want to ask for your advice, Remora.
Remora? Interesting. Okay. Okay. I'll say make a religion check. It's gonna be a fairly high DC, just given. Well, yeah, just make a religion check.
I'm going to go for the sparkly one. Okay, that's
Sparkle
pretty
dice,
good.
good dice.
Yes, actually, I don't get the advantage because that's Hunter's Bane. Blimey, 19 plus 7 for 26.
Okay.
I might have to go find something in my notes quickly.
Okay.
Up a notebook.
So you kneel down after cleaning the blood off of yourself. Say these words. You external or internal?
It's probably kind of external whispers, but
Okay.
I'm repeating them in my head as I say them.
As you say that, with that very high roll, there is a sudden feeling of puzzlement. And Remora's voice comes to you. Wow, you must be upset to have reached out to me, of all people. I mean, we've met before. We will meet again.
Yeah.
My advice? Follow your heart. And as you can almost feel her smiling, you remember that warm smile that she has, and her absolute sincerity and kindness comes through. Now I know this can be troublesome for you in particular, but I'm sure that once you deal with that, things will become a little clearer. And you are interesting, so keep me in mind. Now, I must be off. Many things to do.
Thank you.
And as the presence leaves you, you just feel that sort of breath of warm wind, and then a shiver runs up your spine.
I'm just gonna then just sit. I'm gonna basically have my bow and my 2 scimitars on the floor in front of me. And I'm just gonna sit and just spend time thinking through everything that has happened to try and form some semblance of order in my mind.
Okay. Good to know. Felidor, as you are following Yorick and Gus, listening to them spinning tall tales about life on the outside and the excitement and general badassery that those two of them get up to. Gus probably slightly more embellishing than Yorick, but
I don't know what you mean.
I do. I know exactly what that happens. How are you feeling?
Incredibly out of place, especially when it comes to the speeches that have been given about what it means to be a dwarf.
Yeah.
Feeling like a bit of an imposter.
Okay.
So.
As Gus and Yorick reach another group of dwarves that are singing particularly ribald song about the scalebanes and lengths of various appendages, there's a hand on your shoulder. Excuse me, young lad. Can I just bother you for a second?
Yes. What do you want?
And there's a white bearded dwarf with very, very twinkly blue eyes. just looks up at you and says, "Well, I think you know who I am."
I have an inkling.
Aye. Well, let's go over here. He drags you to a side table, which is strangely clear of dwarves. Nobody sat at it. There are 2 steins of beer. He picks one up. Thank you for dealing with the situation back there. Now it comes
I did what was asked.
Indeed you did. It has come to my attention that I have not been treating you very well.
How do you mean?
Well, I didn't ask if you wanted to be a dwarf.
To be fair, I didn't know until I became this.
Right.
But now I am this. I am not a dwarf. I look like one, but I
You do.
wasn't brought up as a dwarf. I don't know any of the history. I don't know what it means to be a dwarf, and
Well,
I just feel like I'm dressing up and pretending to be a dwarf.
I think you probably do know what it means to be a dwarf. You
But
just
I'm not a dwarf.
know. And if you wanted to, you could become not a dwarf again.
Thing is, when I was an elf, I didn't really fit in. Now I'm a dwarf, I don't really fit in, but at least being an elf, it was a familiar feeling.
Right. So, if you were to be an elf once more, would you still want to be a champion of the orcs?
If you'd allow a non-dwarf to be your star.
I think that I've been what I accused my fellow dwarves of being a little closed-minded on that score.
It's very big of you to admit that.
It is. And I would like to apologize for that. And if you decided that you did want to be a champion of the orcs and an elf, I'm sure that we could do that.
I'm sure we could.
It's entirely up to you.
I think this little adventure has come to an end for me.
Right.
I'm ready to go back to what I was. I mean, it wasn't great, and I had to. Well, we won't go into my history, but at least I knew how to deal with it.
Well, quite. And if you decide so, it shall be so. Do you want it now? Or do you want to just wake up tomorrow as your former self?
Let's have one last night.
Well,
like when in Dag Home, do as the dwarves do.
Indeed, my champion. Go, drink, carouse, be dwarf one last time.
Riox, one thing.
Of course.
And he hesitates for a long while and then just goes, "Thank you."
You're more than welcome, Trelador, champion of Riox.
I do like it when you say that.
Aye, so do I. And he raises his stein. Let's drink.
And I'll just tap it and it just little sips.
Look, hint, if you're going to be a dwarf, quaffing is the thing. That's where you'd spill most of it, okay?
Okay. Well, as I've only got a few hours left, and I'll quaff as best I can.
Good lad, good lad. Now, I must go away and talk to Stonehammer over there. He's being a bit of a dick. He turns and walks off.
Until next time.
He just raises his hand as he walks off.
And once he's gone, Tranador will just sort of, like, a lot of the tension he's been holding in his shoulders just sort of comes out.
And as you do so,
And he'll
all of a
just,
sudden- sorry,
yeah.
go ahead.
He'll just sit at the table, just drinking to himself.
As you do that and Riox walks away, you notice that the table is populated with other dwarves. You just didn't see them at the time, and they're all clinking tankards, and one of them puts an arm round your shoulders. Hey, how you doing, boy?
I'm better.
Excellent. Come on, let's take a drink. And sort of smashes his tankard into you.
I have one. It's fine.
They try desperately to involve you in a game of shove, which is basically see who can stay on the bench the longest without spilling their pint.
Yeah, I am deeply uncomfortable. I'm looking around desperately, trying to find Yorick and Gus.
Make a quick perception check.
12.
12. Yeah. You think you see Gus sort of waving his crossbow in the air, explaining how he shot a dragon, and it's all.
I think about getting up and going to them, but I can see that they're, amongst their people, and I just let them have their evening.
Okay. Cool. And on that note, we will end and have our evening. Unless there was something in particular that somebody desperately needed to do, we can of course pick up right here next week, or if there's something quick and easy.
I'm good.
Quick and easy.
No,
Great.
all good. Awesome.
This
Yeah,
session
we will end
72,
there.
wasn't it?
As the night continues, getting rowdier and rowdier, and the drink is flowing. The songs are being sung, and we pull back to see this dwarven city party, which it hasn't done for a long time. And we will take it there. Thank you so much. That was really good fun.
Saviour of the dwarves.
Yes, indeed. Well done. The road to saviourdom of Daghold is well and truly being trodden. Awesome stuff. Thank you.
Well done.
I was very impressed that you did all that drunk. Yorick, that was good.
Well, Yorick, he's always topped up a little bit.
Could see your eyes glazing over a few times when you're trying to think of what to say.
I am not as thick as you drunk I am.
Shall we start? Shall we
By the way,
start?
I've just been necking the whole time. This is just. I do have soft drinks with me.
Shall we just start calling you Mead Tin now?
Mead Tin?
Yeah.
Ooh. Yeah.
Cool.
The apple mead is especially good.
Careful, Martin, your fiddy is showing.
I think your damaged is showing, to be fair.
Yeah. Next, you'll be dropping a useful spell in casting darkness.
Yeah, could be running off a cliff, perhaps. Anyway,
Don't try it when drunk.
thank you very much for playing tonight, guys. It was really good fun. We found out a lot of things. We solved some problems. We created maybe some others. And yeah, brilliant. So, any conspiracy beards going on?
Not conspiracy beard, but you have one very excited Furbolg.
I did.
Very
notice that,
excited.
yes.
We've always had a very excited Furbolg.
Oh no. He's been mild. He's basically been sort of mildly happy up to this point. You have a very excited Furbolg.
Indeed, we do. Anybody else got anything comments? I know, Fiddy, I would suggest watching this one back because there was quite a lot of stuff happened before you joined. So
Yeah, completely. I did though. From what I did take part of is, how safe is Darkhold, with 6 clerics potentially on the loose who are still intertwined with a she-bitch from hell.
indeed.
Kind of part of the reason that friends went to.
There's some dwarf clerics on the loose. Small, mediums at large.
Very good.
Gets a clap. I thought mine was good earlier, but
I took a further 8 points of psychic damage.
Okay,
That one was great.
Also interesting to see how the war could potentially stop with the dwarves now being told from the great god Reorx himself to stop it, just like he has told Yorick, and to try and pass this message on. How do we now get Dragonkin to listen and follow suit?
Well, I suspect your very excitable Furbolg may.
I was going to say we throw a Furbolg at him.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
He won't hurt. He's very fluffy.
yeah. So the response. So because of his experience, the response was shine, shine, rise and shine.
Mm-hmm.
He may have just woken up the crystal dragon,
Could be,
or at least begun the process.
Yeah, completely. It was just from going from the last session we had, where we were told that the leader of the dragon so far around or in Daghold, is pretty much a big twat.
Yeah.
Yep.
But I think
But
it's going to be.
Yeah.
And can he accelerate him being woken up to basically come and slap the silly sapphire?
Well, we'll see about that. Okay, so Yorick did the catch up this week. Celeste, you're up for next week. I'm sure that won't be a problem, but obviously you have the video to watch and stuff like that. Speaking of Celeste, do you have any conspiracy beard thoughts?
I'm not sure whether they've slunk off of their tails between the legs, the 6 dwarves, or if they've gone to regroup and come back more powerful than we can possibly imagine.
I mean,
the dwarves, not Power Rangers.
Daghold was merely a setback.
Awesome.
But she knew that Florian would not be getting pissed along with the rest of them, so he would be the only reliable.
Best person to tell, yeah.
I do have a question to ask the DM after this as well, though.
Okay. Do you want to do it on stream or off stream? It's entirely up to you.
Do it off stream, and probably just me and you.
Okay, cool. Miette, you got anything? Any conspiracy ears? You are muted, of course, which makes it very difficult to hear your conspiracy ears.
I did have a conspiracy thought a moment ago, and then as soon as you asked us, like, I have never had any thoughts ever.
This happens. This is a thing.
So
if you do remember it, obviously shout.
Yeah, no, it's not so much conspiracy ears, but I hope you understand this as a compliment, because it happened to me twice this evening and twice again on Sunday. But I'm gonna have to stop knitting lace during the D&D games because I keep getting distracted by the plot and making mistakes in my knitting.
You know what? I think we should all take that as a compliment. Absolutely.
Yeah. So that's my only thing. It's like twice this evening I was kind of going along this, and something goes like, look down, I was like, right. How far back do I have to go this time?
Okay.
So yeah.
Melissa?
No. Nothing major.
No.
Definitely wasn't up
Okay.
to anything during that session.
Yeah,
Don't know what you're talking about. Don't know.
All these people
Who
trying to
knows?
contact gods.
Obviously. I mean, you see a follower of Fiona get exposed and he turns into a horrible mass of limbs and flesh. And you go, I really, really should probably sort this problem out.
I mean, yeah, unless you want to turn into a horrible mass of limbs and flesh and stuff.
I'd rather not, you know.
Okay. That's
Really
cool.
crimp my style.
Oh, okay, yeah. You probably would have to buy a new dress.
Yeah. One with like 4 armholes.
Yeah.
Might cost a bit more as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just have
Gus,
to get it designer.
what you got?
I think the only thing Gus wants to know is if Dell's single.
You'll have to ask.
Is still single, and do you have a chance?
You've
They will be
always
stepchildren.
got to ride a dragon with whatever character you're playing.
You need to respec into Bard
Yeah.
to romance a
Say that.
dragon.
So, Yorick, what you got for us? If you keep your eyes open
Mead.
from the mead.
Yeah. It was the shit night's sleep as much as the meat. No, everything's great. Everything's wonderful. On the mend. There are no problems. The dwarves are happy and drunk. Well, those two are synonymous.
Yeah,
Real.
we just have to stop the war tomorrow.
Yeah,
Without
that's
it over.
the easy bit. Now. It's all good.
I wouldn't say everything is okay, and definitely not the easy bit.
Oh,
Go
shut
down to
up.
Winchester
We've
and
done the hard work already.
Yeah,
We've got the whole city of Daghold, bar 6 people behind us.
we're like 83% sorted.
Yeah.
Or the Dragon War, that's it. It's still the end of the world.
That's
Yeah,
fine.
I mean, there's shit going on with demons and your sister, and but Daghold's cool, man.
Yeah, you
I'm
deal
thankfully
with what's here
instead,
now
yes.
and then worry about the rest later.
It's a very dwarven point of view, that. Don't worry about it. Have a beer. We'll sort it out tomorrow.
Yeah.
Okay,
That was
so,
kind of the final point in my final speech of all the bloody speeches I made.
yeah.
Of like, tomorrow we do this, this, and this, but tonight we get fucked up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like it. Yeah. Yeah,
Every time you say that, it reminds me of the great historical tradition of winning and or avoiding combat. Like tomorrow we fight, but tonight we drink. And by the way, have you met our daughters?
Yeah, that was special extra props to you, Martin, for making all that up on the spur of the moment. Good work. Well done.
Yeah, fair play.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm very impressed with that. Good work. Well done.
It's the RP just flows through the beard. That's why I have to keep it on.
It is, yeah.
And the mead.
Source of power.
Mead goes in, RP comes out.
Yeah. Through beard.
So
Both ways.
Is the beard your equivalent of Samson's hair?
Yes.
Yeah. It's like a filter.
Yes. Here did I lose my power?
So, last but definitely not least, Trenador. Thoughts?
No, nothing really. He'll see how he feels when he gets turned back into an elf. But
See
yeah,
how we feel when you spurn being a dwarf, you bastard.
yeah, it'll be interesting conversations, but yeah.
We welcomed you into our family, and you're spurning us and going back to one of those lanky, pointy-eared freaks.
Yeah,
Wow.
okay,
Excuse me. You
Lanky,
mean you're going to
pointy
reject
figure,
him
no.
being family just because he
Gus-
looks different?
Gus,
Beg
I
your
can make
pardon?
you a part of my caravan even though none of you have fur.
Yeah.
You need a lesson on
know.
family, young man.
I know who's not getting healing anytime soon.
That was me talking, not Gus.
It's hard to see where the line ends, to be honest.
It is very difficult.
The main question about Tralador really is going to be, does he keep his tail?
I
Oh,
forgot I
good
had a
point.
tail, actually, yeah.
Oh, yeah, you do, don't you? Yeah.
All three of you do.
No.
I thought it went, didn't
They
it?
get
Oh,
removed.
no, you don't have a tail at the minute.
I have a tail.
You have a tail.
I had a tail briefly.
You did, yes.
I forgot I still had a tail.
Yeah.
No one's commented on it either.
Yeah.
We've gotten used to it.
Feels rude.
And besides, the problem is if we comment on it, we risk summoning someone.
I mean, I can think what could possibly go wrong here.
Mm.
Balo and Reorx in the same room. Party time.
Could I
Anyway,
have a
Not
piss
the
up
fun
together
kind of
today?
party.
anyway, once again, thank you all very much for playing. It was really good fun tonight. I totally enjoyed myself. Maybe I'm not saying we will. Maybe there could be a shopping episode next time. Who knows? Daghold is big and full of shops.
And we have a grateful dwarven populace who might be a bit drunk and give us a discount.
Possibly.
It will have to be a big discount compared to the gold I have in my.
Yeah, I have 87 gold. I don't think that's going to get me much.
Oh,
You'll
you're
be
rich.
fine.
Yeah, gold's
Oh,
not
quite
a
Question there, Martin.
You're with the scale maids. We're rich bitches.
Yeah, indeed.
I heard
I
a
was
good
gonna
question
say-
from Martin there. I think. I
Okay.
may have misheard.
We level up.
No.
Two episodes.
2 episodes back in, you want to level up already? No, that's not what happens. So yes, we will be back here, of course, next week on Tuesday. We will not be here Sunday, as our beloved DM for Sunday campaign is not available.
I will be in a tent.
You'll be in a tent.
Ooh, why are you
Interesting.
doing that to yourself?
Standing at attention.
Anyway, moving swiftly on from the really bad puns this evening. Looking at you, Nat. We will be back.
Sorry,
here,
is
of
this
course.
making you tense?
Oh.
Oh god.
Okay, we're just going to quit now because she will carry on, and we won't be able to stop her. That's not a thing you can do. So, as ever, if you enjoyed it as much as we did, then obviously you are alive, have a pulse, and you're wonderful. If you didn't like it, you're probably just some sort of wanker, really. So, off you fuck.